212. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Let me see. It looks like we're live. Let me just make sure that we live over here. Are you verifying?
I'm looking, yeah.
La la da dee da 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 da. Before I go, I don't want to do a strong intro.
That part is actually, you know, the rest of that. That's a weird kid.
All right, let me see. Let me see if I'm live right now. Give me 1 second. It looks like there's a lag time.
16, 15, 14.
Oh, it looks like it's live. It is live.
Yeah, it's live.
All right, give me 1 second. It looks like it's lagging though. Give me 1 second just to make sure there's no problems.
Turn the volume
All
up
right.
a little bit.
Let me see. Let me turn this up real quick. Give me a second. Looks like there's two people on right now. Are you one of those people? Look at this Square Up Talk Show. That logo looking real fire. All right, let's start this show off right. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? God bless y'all. Yo, this green screen thing is weird, right? Because it looks like crazy. Listen, before we start the show for the Square Up Talk Show, I don't claim to be politically correct. What I or my guests say may or may not be offensive. This is a warning for those that choose to watch. If you choose to continue, this is at your own discretion. Welcome to the show, and I am your host, Alex Ramos. Listen, I am super excited. Today, we're squaring up with a barber. I'm so excited to do this first show with one of my close friends, which is Sammy. So I'm going to bring him on real quick. Let me see if I can do this. I'm still new to this, guys. I'm still new to this. Let me see. All right, if I add him here. Yeah! Yo, it's working. Yo, can you hear me clearly?
Yo, what up?
All right, I can hear you clearly. This is good. All right, perfect. 1 second. All right. Let me see. Sounds good. Make it public so I can share it. I don't know how to do that yet. So, give me 1 second here. Yo, Sammy, how you doing, puppy?
Good. How you doing, Alex?
I am doing good. Hey, listen, guys. We're just gonna go through a quick show real quick. This is one of my favorite guys right here. Hey, Sam, listen, I want to start this off by first introducing yourself, sharing a little bit about what you do, and how you are. That's all, bro.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy. I'm a barber, currently serving Rendezvous Ministries, where we got two great pastors. One of them is Alex Ramos. The other one is Jonathan Colon. Currently, I'm a barber in Seymour, Connecticut, 172 North Street, Seymour, Connecticut. Log that in. And yeah, man, my life consists around being a parent to three kids. And just being the head of my household currently, you know what I mean? And basically back and forth to work, nothing more, nothing less, you know?
Nothing special.
No.
I guess there's a way that you could watch chats on here too, but I'm not watching no chat. Oh, you could. Social media comments display here, chat overlay. Can we do that? Let me see. Somebody post something in the chat. Let me see. I gotta see if I see it on here. I'm all new to this, Sammy. I'm new to this, so I don't know if you can see stuff. Anyways, yo, listen. Talking about barber, obviously you're a talented barber, always looking sharp, always looking good. What do you think is the hardest style for you to shape? Look, talking about barber, I didn't even get a shape up today. You let me down. Let me down. Guys, this is not his artwork. This is mine. Sometimes I mess up the line and then I need it adjusted. Yo, what do you think is the hardest style for you to do when you cut hair?
I've been doing it for so long, I don't find nothing too challenging anymore, but it would probably be a complete scissor cut, a haircut that doesn't consist of any clippers, just basically thinning shears and shears, you know what I'm saying?
What do you love most about your job, like being a barber?
To be honest, the interaction with the community, man. I love to see the expression on individuals' faces after I give them a haircut and they become transformed. You know what I mean? It's almost like making a person new again.
Yo, what do you dislike the most? Yo, you want to hold that stuff inside, but we're gonna be transparent today. As a barber, what do you dislike the most? Do you ever deal with like, yo, let's just keep it 100, nobody looking, nobody's in my room? Yo, you ever deal with people with stink breath?
All the time.
I'm never one of those people, right? I just want to make sure.
No, you good. Yeah, there's a lot that comes along with the barbershop. It could be a blessing and it could be a curse. But I would say, yeah, man, people with poor hygiene. That kind of sucks, man, especially when you got to get into the hair. So once I see a head that looks kind of funny, the first thing I do is, you already know, put them gloves on, man.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, listen, I know that you also deal with complainers, right? You got to deal with a lot of complainers. You know, the people who are meticulous, like the line still looks a little bit off. You got to keep retouching it.
Yep. That's tough.
Do you now? Are you a licensed barber?
Yes, sir.
Do you do women's hair or only barbering?
Only barbering.
And you're a Christian, right? How did you become a Christian?
I was a born Christian. So my father used to be a minister. My family always basically served the Lord. Throughout time, when I started to become a man, I veered off a little bit, and it's been an interesting journey, man. Cause life without God is a lot harder than a life with God. Recently, couple months back, say about 8-9 months now, I basically gave my life to the Lord once again. And listen, man, it's the best thing I've ever done. It's hard to be a Christian barber on top of that, because you know it's funny you even mentioned that question. One of the first things they tell you in the book is not to involve the shop with religion, which I find
is it bad business?
I don't. For some people, it's bad for business because you got your atheists. You got people who just are Muslim. You have a lot of races. You know what I mean? But one thing that I've learned, especially throughout my time, is that, especially, you know, me re-giving my life to the Lord, is I pick up my cross every day. So I use my household is my first ministry, but my chair is my second ministry. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Yeah, it's a great journey, man. It's a powerful journey. He's been doing a lot for me. And I'm just excited to see what he's going to do for everyone else that gives yourself to the Lord. You know what I mean?
Now, how do you do work-life balance? Because you got to figure that most families work Monday through Friday, but a barber's life is literally Friday, Saturday, or even Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You pretty much booked all throughout the night. How do you have that work-life balance where you come home, spend time with your kids? Because I know you're a basketball coach, right?
Yeah, yep. So it's with technology now, it's not as complicated as it was before. So now I use a lot of booking applications. This way I can build my itinerary and make time for the kids. It's very important to so time into family, man. It could tarnish a relationship if you don't know how to control it, but for the most part, like I said, due to technology, there's a balance now. You know what I mean?
And how long you been barbering for? Who got you into it?
Oh man, so that's funny you asked that. When I was a little younger, I used to rip and run in the streets a lot, and one of my main places of hanging out was the barbershop. So yeah, man, just being in the midst of the atmosphere all the time is just something that I never thought that would be a open door to me. But yeah, it just eventually ended up being something I always had an eye for and a niche for, till I started to put it into practice. You know, and I got a lot better at it. So yeah.
Now, do you have any advice for people who want to become future barbers?
Yeah, man, don't give up. And the barber industry, the industry is pretty big, man. But it's something you gotta want to do, man. And I feel like the same thing with anything, man. If you really have an ambition and a push for it, man, you're gonna and a desire and a drive, you'll succeed, man. It's just consistency is key. Like with everything, man. You just gotta really want it. You know what I mean, Alex?
All right. Do we want to go deep? How deep we want to go? What advice would you give to your younger self now that you're more mature? Now you have a stable job, you have a family. What would you give to your younger Playboy self?
That's a good question, man.
Yeah, I know. Told you we was going deep.
I would probably I would tell myself to put God first in everything you do. You know,
That's the one thing.
nah, I mean, there's a lot of things I probably tell myself, but one of the main things is, yeah, man, surrendering yourself to the Lord, man, is an important thing, bro. Because I thank the Lord for saving me throughout the period of time that I veered off and I was in the streets. But let me tell you, man, life without Him is a lot more complicated, like I said, than life with Him. So I feel like one
You're
of the
not
key
lying.
things, one of the key things to life is actually knowing the Lord. You know what I mean, and accepting Him as your Savior. Because at the end of the day, a lot of doors open. He'll open every door for you and close every door you don't need. And at that
Yo,
time, I never had that guidance or structure. Yeah, I had my dad, but the familiar voice, that same story. You listening to a parent or a cousin or an aunt, and they telling you, do this, do that. You looking at them like, whatever. But yeah, that's probably what I'll tell myself, man, is to I'm happy that I found them now. I kind of wish I would have found them earlier.
listen, you ain't lying about that. Listen, I know one thing. So there's some awkward stuff, but we're gonna start off with this little thing that I got here that I wanted to ask you a few questions about. So I got in touch with some of your old people that you gave haircuts to. I saw people who comment on your haircuts and stuff like that. So I took some pictures and I told them to send me some pictures of some haircuts that you gave out. And I just got to ask you a few questions on them. So just give me a few seconds. So what's good with this hairstyle that you
did? You're crazy, yo.
Yo, why would you even do that, Bob? That's disrespectful, B. Come on, Sam. What we doing, bro?
Yo, that definitely was not me, bro.
Yo, he got a little barcode in the front. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? You got some chimney bangs on the side. That's good stuff right there, bro. Yo, listen. On a serious note, though. Yo, come on, bro. You can't be letting dudes out my barbershop like this. Yo, we had to get real gully right now.
You're a clown, bro.
Thanks.
What else you got there? What else you got?
Yo, listen, I'm just trying to keep it 100 with you guys so that everybody's aware as to what is going on. So just give me a second. No, this is serious. Let's get serious now, though.
Oh my God.
Come on now. He did celebrities too, y'all. My boy did celebrities too. Yo, I'm so proud of you, bro. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Yo, y'all thought this was a podcast. You tarnishing my image, bro.
Yo, but on a serious note, for anybody who wants cuts like these, even if they bad, my boy can get it done. Show him a picture. Come on now. He went for the mouse tail. Yo, these are some stuff that I seen that I was like, yo, this is what I'm talking about right here.
You're crazy.
Yo, but I wanted to see how sick nasty are you. I pulled these out from the internet and I was like, I wonder if my boy could do this. How hard is a cut like this?
That's complicated, man. You got to have the attention to detail is ridiculous, man. I think that's Rob the original, man. I follow a lot of his work, man. But some people are just talented that they could see. They could just see hair and just envision things like that. The one on the right, I could definitely do it. But when it comes to portraits are hard, man. You definitely have to have a different type of eye for that.
Yeah, I never tried. I think they even color it in, right? They gotta darken some areas in order to do that.
Yeah, but that seems pretty natural, man. He brought it down to probably a 1.5. He left the part of the beard part like a 3, and that's impressive, bro. That's impressive, man.
Yo, for real. Look at that one.
Clean.
That's clean, B.
That's all Photoshop, though.
I would have told you to do that on me, but my hair ran from my face a long time ago, so I can't give you none of that right there, Pa. Yo, listen.
Yo.
That was nasty too. I pulled that one. That one's sick nasty. I love that one right there.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of
listen. Now, if somebody came in a barbershop asking you for something like this, now do you charge per style or how much time? Because I gotta figure out some designs probably take more time than the other.
Yeah, that's not for nothing, depending where you're at. In the Greenwich area, that's probably a $300 haircut. Where we're at, it'd probably be I don't know, I'd probably charge $150 for something like that. Because it is time consuming. Yeah, it is. And it depends, because if it goes into the perspective of having to dye the hair, that's even more. Because it's a process. Now you got to dye the hair. You got to let the hair sit for an hour and then wash it off, make sure everything's right. If it's not right, you got to re-dye the hair. But yeah, it's a lot of work. There's a lot that goes into stuff like that.
How about that? You ever do that at the barbershop?
Hell no.
Yo, come on, let's keep it 100. Yo, there's some barbers that just get way too close, bro.
Yo,
They get Yo, I don't peep some barbers get way too close. Yo, for those in the comments, y'all ever deal with a barber that got too close?
Yo, that's you only see that on East Main, bro.
Yo, there's some times that you gotta be in a barber chair and you gotta be like this because you don't want your elbows out. Your elbows are too out, and that's just like violation. So when I get a cut, I'm like this. This is exactly how I look when I'm under your cape. I'm like this.
Yo, this thing is stupid, yo. It's so stupid, yo.
Yo, but all jokes aside, listen. I want to give it to a serious talk, but I want you guys to take a look at this. This is Sammy's barbershop where he works at. Shout out to them. Yo, listen. Out of all the barbershops, I'm not knocking anybody, but this barbershop is literally gorgeous. As soon as you walk in, the atmosphere is mature, it's not ghetto. If you want to bring your family, I know it's a little bit for those in Bridgeport that it's out of your way, but if you want a quality cut and get the executive experience, yo, go see Sammy. I've never been disappointed. The dude is sharp from beginning to end. Like, he's really, really good. It's hard to give you a standard price. Let me go back to the other screen so we can see each other a little bit better. It's hard to give you guys a regular price on what he charges because it all depends on time and quality. Everybody's face haircut is a little bit different. There is a standard price. I don't really ask Sammy for prices because I'm one of those guys that like to tip good. So it really doesn't matter what you're going to charge me because it'll never surpass what I'm going to give you in a tip. Yo, let's talk about this, Sammy. You know what? I wasn't even going to go here, but let's just go here. Yo, guys, anybody watching this, please listen to me. If you make an appointment with your barber and you cancel, you still got to give him a cut. Even though you don't want to, it's called mutual respect. He booked you for a certain time and barbers count on your money. That's how they do it. They count on your money. So I find it super disrespectful when dudes book and they cancel on you. Like, do you have any policy where if the dude cancels more than twice, you're like, yo, I'm not cutting your hair no more?
So yeah. So that's what we do. Not only me, but the guys in the shop, especially the owner of the shop. Shout out to Byron. But we just basically came out and if you cancel more than twice or three times, you get black booked. So you can't rebook anymore. Nice. And then obviously now a lot of the booking systems give you the option. So now I try not to do it because my clientele base is very selective. I do take new people, but I have a long clientele base that I've been cutting for years, and I like to just deal with certain individuals for certain reasons. But going back to like the booking app does allow you to charge them at least for the booking, and if they don't show up, then it's on them. They still have to pay for the haircut. But I'm generous enough not to do that to people. But maybe in the near future it's something I need to start pushing for because it becomes complicated because now I'll have that person booked. That's a $60 haircut, but then I'll cancel a $100 haircut to put you into that slot, and then I lose money. You know what I mean? So
yep. Listen, I don't know if I've done it with you, but I know my barber here in Bridgeport. His name is Blaze at New Creations, and if I ever cancel, I still at minimum still toss over like a $50 bill just because I know that you got to take care of your family. That's what it is. So I just call it mutual respect. I do want to talk about just a few more things. I know last time I got a cut from you, and here's what happened when I got the cut from you, right? You told me like barbers make you go, to move that out, right? So while you were cutting, you kind of use your pinky, and then slowly, if you notice, you press so hard that my tongue slipped out and it grazed your thumb. Like it was like, yo, it was a moment, bro. It was a moment. And at that moment, you gotta understand, I'm already in a vulnerable position. I'm in a vulnerable position. My tongue just touched my thumb, and I was like, yo, what do we do now? Like
you're an idiot, bro.
Yeah, I was like, what do I do now? I feel like it's awkward right now, homie.
I was tormented. I had to get blood work after.
I was like, yo, I was like, man, I don't even know what to do right now. As a barber, how did you survive COVID, bro?
COVID was rough, bro. But we had that secret location locked in, so you had to knock twice, spin around 3 times, and jump up to
Yo,
get in. But yeah, man, COVID was kind of tough. Don't get me wrong. They offered that little stimulus check, whatever the case may be. But regardless to the fact, we ended up having to separate the chairs. I believe it was like 6 feet apart. You couldn't be next to anybody, and then they wanted you to like isolate the section. But throughout COVID, we still did our thing. Yeah, I survived, thank God, because that was all God, to be honest. But at the end of the day, no matter what, man, people want to still look good, man, and hygiene is important, man. And I
yo,
feel
listen,
like,
that's the one thing I love about a barbershop, right? You could deal with somebody who's insecure.
yeah,
You get
yeah.
them in a barbershop, and dude is feeling like $100 when they get out, bro.
Yeah, man, it's an amazing feeling, bro. It's dope. I really like it, man. I like to see the expression on people's faces. Plus, I've always loved the barbershop industry too, because there's no overhead, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I build my own schedule. I come and go as I please, and as long as bills are taken care of, everything works.
So, listen, we're getting close to the end because we want to try to keep it around 20 minutes, 25 minutes, just because I know that Sam was real mad at me when he signed on because he said he hasn't eaten all day. So I was like, my bad, B. I promise we'll be quick. Here's something that's super important. I know that you're super passionate about the youth. So if you had a message to give to the youth, what would you tell them right now?
Right now.
Right now, like for them to be successful in the life that they live. Obviously, Sammy was very, very nice about sharing his past, but typical rough upbringing and the life that he decided to go down before he chased after God again. So you knowing and what you've been through, what would you tell the youth of this day and age that might be watching this later on?
Oh, it's tough, man, because you have. Wow, it's a tough question. You got two, because you got households that are broken and households that aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So there's multiple types of kids that go through a lot in life, man. And I don't want to make it sound corny or nothing, but man, what would I tell them? One would probably be honor your father and mother, man, right? But the first thing I would tell them is basically what I told you earlier, man. To just put God first and put God in everything they do, pa. Cause nowadays is hard, man. There's no fear of the Lord anymore. This youth is lost.
Yeah, yeah.
And the one you got kids killing each other, killing their parents. Due to things like this, social media, what they see on TV, is more of a spiritual battle that we go through at the end of the day. And plus all the amenities they have. They got their phone in their hand all the time, and there's just no it's hard because this is something that it becomes almost a program to these kids, man. So at the end of the day, I would tell them, man, to one, if you got your mother and father, honor your mother and father, your family, and just to seek God, man. Put God in everything you do, and through him all things are possible, bro.
That is absolutely true, man, because let me tell you, this younger generation, for those of you that don't know, the reason why the title is called Square Up is because I run a nonprofit organization called Square Up for Others, where I'm constantly in the street. I feed the homeless every night. I try to get them off the street. I help a lot of people. And one thing I see about with the younger generation is that they don't have an older generation that's taking them under their wing. So they're pretty much raising themselves. Back in the day, I never raised up in the streets, but you would consider it an OG. Mm-hmm. So an OG would take the newcomers and kind of shape them and mold them, teach them what loyalty is. But they don't have that nowadays. So there's no respect in reference to the streets. But you know what? I'm not even blaming the OGs. What I'm blaming is that where is the adults of the generation rising up to take the kids under their wings? They're so consumed right now by Instagram and social media. But when do they ever take the time? Like, for instance, you, not only other than barbering, right? You also have your son who's in sports, but you're also a coach.
Yep. Yeah, now, so I got my bad for cutting you off. Yeah, I got both. So my oldest is in college. He committed to Elms. He's playing ball for them. But throughout the years, man, and I thank God. Not only I thank God for that, but I thank my wife as well, man, for pushing me and and my family at the end of the day as well, man. Because I always I had I had a good upbringing. I also had my mother and father. I wasn't into the streets or nothing. I mean, I wasn't just thrown in the streets or whatever the case may be. But yeah, the kids play basketball. They always played AAU and travel basketball. But that's one thing I always found time is to give them direction. And like you said, like a lot of kids never had that OG or that older figure to give them the correct direction, man. So yeah,
and it's so good, and it's so funny because growing up though, where I did, right, I grew up with a lot of kids on my street, so it was a lot different because our youth were super tight with each other. But one thing I noticed that growing up, we had a lot of youth groups, even in churches, right? So I'm not sure if you're aware of Bridgeport. Did you grow up in Bridgeport?
Yeah, born and raised, man.
Okay, so now when I was growing up, Good Shepherd had an amazing youth group. GBCF had an amazing youth group, which was ran by Janet Ortiz at that time. Victory Outreach. There were so many different churches that had outlets for youth to go to and literally be able to talk and chill with other youth, like-minded, where it was safe. But nowadays, I don't see churches like the way I used to, with youth groups powerful and moving. And I think that's what hurts our generation, is what outlet do they really have to connect to other than what they do right now, than a basketball out on a street and hoping that you get along with the locals in that area. But what other programs are out there for these youth to be involved? Like, I don't pay attention to it personally, but because I deal mostly with adults who are stuck on the street and stuck with addictions, right? But and your side, who you see like the competition, is there a lot of youth programs out there for kids to sign up to?
It's hard because, like, you would think from town to town, the easiest and cheapest thing to basically get involved with would be an after-school program or the Boys and Girls Club. So the Boys and Girls Club, I believe they offer recreation basketball, which is what I'm coaching now. In the summertime, we have our own basketball team called Connecticut Mamba. But yeah, man, there's a lot of, that's the whole thing too, man, because depending on the circumstances and the environment that these kids live in, a lot of people can't afford to play ball. You know what I mean? And there are AAU programs and travel programs, but sometimes they're just not affordable. You know what I mean?
I completely understand, because my nephews are in baseball. And my brother talks to me about how expensive it is for the kids to be in baseball. And my nephews are talented, right? So they travel and they pay for their schools. So when you have all that, like, you're talking about thousands of dollars. There's not no simple stuff. So I know in Bridgeport, we have, what do they call it? Caribe League or something like that. They have
a Caribe League. They got Bluefish. This baseball you're talking about, right?
Yeah, well, baseball, yeah, right now. But I mean, other programs, they usually charge a lot of money. So it's like, in Bridgeport, other than them focusing always on, taking care of the homeless and all this stuff, I feel like there's a gap between the youth and taking care of them. And it's not just creating a building for them to go into, but what programs do we have that go out there and connect with the high schools and connect with the children to actually change their life? I don't know how this switched from barbering to youth, but we're going with the flow right now. So I'm questioning myself, because as the owner of Square Up for Others, I'm trying to figure out if my next stage, when I pass homelessness and I build this, should I go into the youth field?
Yeah, man. I feel like we're already working on that agenda, Alex, man. Not only through Square Up, but through Rendezvous Ministries, man. And the whole objective is to not only seek kingdom, but to build a community of people that not only gives a positive environment, but to give access to people that can't afford certain things like that, and people that don't have the financial the finances behind a lot of them situations, man. And I feel like, I would love to be a part of something like that. And I feel like we're already working on that, man. So hopefully soon, we'll have something up and running to be able to sow into Bridgeport a little bit more, but other communities as well, because we don't want to just only focus on one community or one city, man. We want this to be worldwide. You know what I mean? Nations upon nations, bro. So I completely agree with you, man. There's a lot that we could do. Hopefully, Square Up and through Rendezvous, we can make these things happen,
I do. I guess I just now just talking to you after we joked around a little bit. I just noticed that there's a significant gap within the youth. Like thinking about like maybe 12 to maybe 21, right? There's a gap there to pull these who like think about most of these men, especially in Bridgeport, don't have fathers that was there for them, right?
Yeah.
And then the men that could stand up, they're so consumed by work and doing other stuff. So then these young men are raising themselves. So now I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we got to get into it. Because Pastor Jonathan of Rendezvous Church, other than being a fireman, he also went a lot of times to the detention center. And he would come back with like stories of like, my gosh, these kids can be saved. Square Up helped a few of them when they got out of jail because they had nowhere else to go to.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So I noticed because I still get phone calls from high schools on how I can help families who are literally struggling with food at home. It's sad, bro. I literally have families with 7 and 8 year olds who say, I have no food to feed my kids today. And this is happening in our city right now as we speak.
Yeah.
So when I see all these people doing all these events, right, they're saying, oh, why don't these family go to pantries and why they don't go to these places? I even seen, so right now, currently, the epidemic that I'm dealing with is single mothers with children in their cars. And some people may say, yo, why don't they go to shelters? But the truth is that the reason they don't go to shelters, Sammy, is because shelters that we have nowadays are pretty much not safe.
Yeah, they're like jail.
How do you ensure the kids are safe?
Yeah, man. It's tough, man. We're living in hard times, man. These are things that have been going on throughout the world for a long time now, but now's the time for a change, man. Not only that revival's around the corner, bro, and I believe like you said, man, not only through Square Up, but through Rendezvous Ministries, man, and hopefully other ministries could just coincide with each other, man, and we could all get connected and be able to give back to our communities. You know what I mean? It'll take a small group of people, man, to do world-changing things, man, and I'm a big believer in that.
Come on now, and we already got 2 of them right here. So listen, shout out to Fadeaway Barbershop in Seymour. I want to shout out, this podcast is sponsored by Kingdom Talks, which is another podcast who are doing very, very well. And it's also sponsored by Rendezvous Church in Bridgeport, Connecticut at 32 Bear Street. They're a big sponsor and a big supporter of Square for Others while we're out here trying to eradicate homelessness. So, Sam, thanks for joining the show. Hopefully, we'll have you on again because I want to have you on with Pastor. Pastor had a few things he wanted to put you on the spot with. But right now, listen, it's 7:47, and I know that they have prayer going on. So, listen, God bless you, Pa. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I really appreciate you.
Anytime, man. God bless you guys. Have a good night, guys.
I feel like there should be like a hidden show right now, like Square Up for Others.
Yeah, sure.
I feel like there has to be some type of outro or something like Square Up for Others.
Yo, you're still running on live, Pa.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to do it.